In Michigan, it may soon be legal to discriminate against anyone because of your religious beliefs. The House of Representatives in Michigan, of course led by House Republicans, just passed a religious license to discriminate bill, which would, if passed, would allow anyone to refuse service to anyone and claim it's because of their religious beliefs. My religious beliefs will allow me to discriminate against you. Now, Speaker Jase Bolger of the House of Representatives in Michigan passed a bill that would allow this discrimination to become sanctioned by the state. And now this is called, ironically, the Religious Freedom Restoration Act. I didn't realize that religious people had lost their freedom. Now, supporters of these bills claim that they allow people of faith to just exercise that faith. Oh, you know, I'm just exercising my religious belief. My religious beliefs just happen to discriminate against people. Oh well, sorry, it's in my Bible, so gotta follow it, man. I'm a Christian, or I'm a Muslim, and so I have to discriminate against gay people. They both do. Okay, both books, man. Both books. Now, they can exercise their religion without government interference. That's what they claim. We don't want the government telling us what we can and can't do. Okay, when you put it like that, it might sound reasonable. However, this would allow rampant discrimination under this. For example, under this law, a pharmacist could refuse to fill a doctor's prescription for birth control. Now, a large majority of women use birth control, whether or not it's to regulate their monthly cycles or to prevent getting pregnant. A lot of women use, even most Catholic women use birth control, some form of hormonal birth control, normally an oral contraceptive, as they do tend to wrongly believe that the IUD is somehow an abortion thing. It's not. Look it up. Not only that, they can deny prescribing HIV medication. There are some fundamentalists out there that believe that HIV is a punishment from God for being gay. Well, I'm not going to fill that. It's against my beliefs to be gay, so I should allow you to die, not because if you don't get your medication when you have HIV, you could develop the full-blown AIDS, and you die, that's your fault. You shouldn't have been engaging in sinful behavior. And by the way, you're going to go to hell too. So, you know, double fuck you. This is essentially what it is. Also, an emergency room physician or EMT could refuse service to a gay person in need of treatment. School teacher could refuse to mentor the children of a same-sex couple. A DMV clerk could refuse to give a driver's license to a person who is divorced. These are all hypothetical situations that would allow this. If you have a deeply held religious conviction and you want to follow that to the letter, under these kinds of laws, you can refuse to do a certain. It's not about just baking cakes, and that's the thing. That's the argument most people miss, because all this, just baking a cake. Oh, what if I don't want to bake a cake to a gay person? It sounds a lot like, what if I don't want to have a black person in my restaurant? I shouldn't have to. I shouldn't have to serve them. I don't like them. I don't like what they do. But then they'll make the distinction, no, being black isn't a choice, but being gay is a choice, which is not true at all. There's not a choice. It's just the same. It's the way you're born, okay? You don't choose to be gay, just like you don't choose to be straight. So when they make that argument, it falls flat on their ass, because it makes no sense. But that's the justification they use for these laws. That's the justification that they use for this discrimination. Brian Fisher the other day says, we're not discriminating against you if you're a gay person. We're just discriminating against the act of being gay, of expressing how gay you are through, contact, through actually being with somebody who is of the same sex. And of course, as his mind always goes to, the act of gay sex. Like I said, I think people like Brian Fisher tend to think about gay sex a little more than they should. A little more than Normal people do. But nonetheless, this is what this is. This is what this is. This is about discrimination. And this discrimination is not good kind of discrimination because it still discriminates against people. It discriminates against people being who they are. In this case, gay, or bisexual, or transsexual. That's what it does. But Michigan Speaker Bolger, Jase Bolger, decided he would fast-track this bill. And it passed by, of course, partisan lines. Michigan is, of course, majority Republican right now, which is sad. It got fast-tracked around partisan lines, getting a vote of 59 to 50. It's heading to the Senate. If successful in the Senate, it'll then go to Rick Snyder, who is also a Republican. Republicans control pretty much the entire government of Michigan. Now, we don't know if Governor Snyder will sign it. I hope he doesn't. I hope he realizes that this is discriminatory. And this can be used in a wide range of discriminatory practices. There's nothing stopping you if you're religious. If you're religious, there's nothing stopping you from practicing that religion. But remember, your religious right ends once it infringes upon the rights of someone else. That's why you can't stone gay people for being gay. Although some conservatives would love to. You can't do that because it infringes upon their rights, and it's also a crime. It's also wrong. That's why you shouldn't be able to discriminate against people who are gay just because they're gay and refuse them life-saving services. And that's what we're worried about. We're not worried about cakes. We're worried about services such as EMT services. And that there's nothing to prevent that from happening. Bolger says, I support individual liberty and I support religious freedom. I have been horrified as some have claimed that a person's faith should only be practiced while hiding in their home or in their church. That's funny. I don't see a lot of religious people hiding. What I see is a lot of religious people trying to inject their religion into policy. Atheists like me, we don't have a problem with religion. Most of us don't. Obviously, there are some much more hardline militant atheists that want to abolish all religion. I'm not of that persuasion. I would like it if humanity grew out of religion. It didn't need it anymore. Such as, for example, some of the European countries that have grown out of religion. You know why they have grown out of religion? Is because they are wealthier countries. They have strong safety nets. People don't need to cling to religion to have hope. And I'm not saying every rich country or every person who's wealthy is going to turn away from religion. No, but that is the general trend. Generally, the more well-off you are, the less likely, I think, you are to need to believe in a second life that is better than the one that you have. And that is the draw of religion. But I'm getting too far off into a tangent. I don't see how religious people can feel that they're persecuted for not being able to persecute someone else. I don't understand the disconnect. And there is a big disconnect. And there's a persecution complex going on here and massive projection. And it's really upsetting to see laws like this continue to get passed.